Have you ever woken up and felt like your legs or arms don't even belong to you anymore? Every step feels heavy, and climbing the stairs seems like a mountain to climb. I've seen hundreds, maybe thousands of patients say exactly that. And the biggest question they always ask me is there a way to live without constant pain, without relying on painkillers forever? In today's video, I want to sit with you, like two old friends having a real conversation, and share with you about a natural compound called Cetyl Myristoleate, or CMO, something science has shown can actually get to the root cause of joint inflammation, helping you regain mobility, confidence, and freedom in every move. Over the years as a physician, I often hear patients say, "Doc, I think my joints just need a little more lubrication and I'll be fine." But the truth runs deeper. That morning stiffness, the crunching sound when you stand up or sit down, it all begins with one thing: inflammation. That's the real root. Imagine your body as a garden. If weeds take over, you can't just water more and hope the flowers will thrive. You've got to pull the weeds out by the root. That's exactly what CMO does. It doesn't just lubricate your joints, it goes deeper, calming the inflammation that's been making your life so painful. One of my patients, Evelyn, age 67, once told me that climbing stairs felt like scaling a mountain. But after a few weeks of taking CMO alongside a healthy diet, she said, "I feel like I got my old legs back." That's something I'll never forget. And science backs this up. CMO helps block certain enzymes that trigger inflammation, reducing swelling, easing pain, and restoring flexibility. Things ordinary painkillers simply can't do. I share this because I believe you, just like Evelyn, deserve a life with less pain, more freedom, and the ability to keep moving. Think back to the last time you took a pain pill. Maybe within 20 minutes, the ache faded, and you breathed a sigh of relief. But what happened next? A few hours later, the pain crept back, sometimes even worse than before. Painkillers are like a curtain. They cover up what's happening inside your body, but never touch the real cause. Ibuprofen and other anti-inflammatories only silence the alarm bell your body is ringing. But CMO works differently. It doesn't just mute the symptoms, it gently resets the immune system, helping your body find its natural balance again. It's like tuning a guitar. You don't cut the strings to stop the noise, you bring them back into harmony. I remember a 72-year-old gentleman who once told me, "Doctor, for the first time in years, my knees don't feel like my enemy anymore." That touched me deeply because that's exactly what natural medicine should do. Not fight against the body, but walk alongside it on the path to healing. Have you ever gotten out of bed in the morning, set your feet on the floor, and felt like your whole body was resisting every single movement? That stiffness in your knees that takes minutes before you can even stand upright? Or those stairs that feel more like climbing a hill than a few steps? I meet so many patients like this, and most of them believe it's just old age, something they can't avoid. But the truth is, it doesn't have to be that way. CMO can be especially helpful for people living with these challenges. From knee or hip arthritis to rheumatoid arthritis, where the immune system actually attacks the body itself, I've seen it make a difference. One woman in her 60s, who had struggled with lupus for years, once told me every day felt like a battle, not just with pain, but with hope. When she began using CMO as part of a holistic care plan, she gradually found relief and comfort in her daily steps again. And for those living with fibromyalgia or even psoriasis, both conditions tied to chronic inflammation, CMO can open up new possibilities. Because it doesn't just dull the pain, it helps restore some of that freedom of movement many people thought they had lost forever. When it comes to using CMO, people often ask me, "Doctor, is it complicated?" The truth is, it's much simpler than you think. CMO comes in capsules, topical creams, and even powders. For most patients, I usually recommend starting with about 250 milligrams a day and gradually increasing up to 1,000 or even 1,500 milligrams. Split into 2 or 3 doses depending on the individual. And here's the most important part. Always take it with meals. Pairing CMO with food improves absorption and keeps your stomach comfortable. I remember a gentleman in his mid-60s who was very cautious about trying supplements because painkillers had once upset his stomach. But with CMO, he was surprised. No bloating, no indigestion. After a few weeks, he told me, "The strange thing is, I don't even think about my pain when I get up from a chair anymore." That kind of comment is worth more to me than any statistic on paper. Sometimes healing doesn't need to be complicated. A small, steady habit can give your body the chance it's been waiting for, to heal itself. You know, one capsule of CMO can help a lot, but its power shines brightest when it's combined with a healthy lifestyle. I always tell my patients, supplements are just one piece of the puzzle. The real key lies in how you care for your body every single day. Picture this. If you eat greasy meals with little to no vegetables, then sit for hours in front of the TV, no pill in the world can carry the burden for your joints. But if you choose a plate full of leafy greens, maybe a piece of grilled salmon with olive oil, and even add a pinch of golden turmeric to your soup, you're giving your joints natural anti-inflammatory fuel. I also encourage gentle movement, like yoga or Tai Chi. One 70-year-old woman once told me that after a few months of morning Tai Chi, she felt 10 years younger. And don't forget the basics. Drink enough water, keep a healthy weight, and just as important, sleep well. Because it's in deep sleep that your body repairs and rebuilds damaged tissue. CMO can be a powerful ally, but the true foundation of joint freedom is built on a healthy lifestyle. The story of CMO actually began with a surprising discovery, one that changed the direction of joint research forever. Back in the 1970s, scientists noticed something unusual. Certain strains of mice, even as they aged, almost never developed arthritis. Can you imagine? While humans often face stiffness and joint pain with age, these little mice kept moving with ease. Researchers dug deeper, and the secret was revealed. Those mice were naturally producing a compound called Cetyl Myristoleate, or CMO. It was as if nature had given them a built-in shield for their joints. This sparked a question. If animals could protect their joints with CMO, could humans use it too? I often share this story with my patients as a reminder. Science sometimes starts with the simplest observations. A tiny mouse gave us the clue to a natural, gentle yet powerful solution. And since then, countless studies have shown that CMO can calm inflammation, ease pain, and restore mobility in people, working much like the natural defense those mice had all along. When people think about joint pain, they often imagine something simple, like the joints just wearing out. But in reality, inside your body, there are complex biochemical highways quietly at work. Two of the biggest highways of inflammation are called COX and LOX. When they're overactive, the body produces troublemakers, leukotrienes and prostaglandins, the very compounds that make your joints swollen, stiff, and painful. What makes CMO so special is that it doesn't just sit on the sidelines. Instead of masking symptoms, it steps right into those highways, slowing down the chaotic traffic and stopping the body from overproducing these inflammatory compounds. I often describe it to my patients as a quiet traffic cop. No noise, no side effects, just restoring order and balance. One of my patients, John, age 69, couldn't play golf anymore because the pain in his hip was so bad that even walking a few steps made him wince. After a period of using CMO, he told me, "It feels like someone cleared out the traffic jam inside my body." That's how CMO works, not magic, but science, helping your joints move smoothly and comfortably again. After more than 30 years working with patients over 50, I've learned one thing. Numbers in a research paper only matter when they translate into real human lives. With CMO, what gives me confidence isn't just the clinical reports, it's the faces and the personal stories I've seen. Studies show that CMO can increase range of motion, reduce stiffness, and speed recovery after everyday activity. But what stays with me most is a 74-year-old gentleman who told me, "Doctor, I can bend down to tie my shoes without needing a chair anymore." For a younger person, that might seem trivial, but for someone who used to fear the sharp pain of bending over, that's life-changing. And here's the beauty of CMO: side effects are rare. No worries about stomach ulcers, no spikes in blood pressure. That peace of mind means my patients can care for their joints in a natural, safe way. I've always believed that when a treatment has both solid science and real patient stories behind it, that's when medicine truly touches the human heart. You know, as promising as CMO is, I always remind my patients of one very important thing. No supplement, no matter how natural, should be taken lightly. The way your body responds depends on your unique health, your age, and especially the medications you may already be using. That's why before starting CMO, it's essential to sit down with your doctor or healthcare provider. I've seen cases where someone added a supplement without guidance, and it clashed with their existing prescriptions, sometimes reducing the effectiveness of their medicine, other times causing unexpected reactions. Think of it this way: if your body is an orchestra, every pill, every supplement, every nutrient is like an instrument. For the music to stay in harmony, you need a conductor. And that conductor is your doctor, the one who can look at the whole picture and make sure everything works together safely. So yes, CMO can be a powerful ally for your joints, but it works best and safest when used as part of a plan guided by your physician, especially if you're already managing conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, or heart disease. So if you recognize yourself in these stories, remember this: age is not a sentence to joint pain. There is hope. There are natural solutions. And most importantly, you are not alone on this journey. I'd love to hear your story. Have you struggled with joint pain, stiffness, or inflammation? Share your experience in the comments, because your words might be the encouragement someone else desperately needs. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so we can continue this journey together. In the next videos, I'll keep bringing you practical medical insights and heartfelt advice to help you live stronger, healthier, and happier, one step at a time.